go live on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. But if it sounds terrible on Instagram, head on over to Facebook. Our Facebook page is MomCave TV. Facebook.com/MomCave TV. Okay, I'm going to get official about this. Welcome to MomCave Live. I am Jen, and let's do that again, because I'm going to edit this into a podcast.
Yes, let's do it.
Everyone see my process, really, so they can appreciate. Just kidding. Okay, welcome to MomCave Live, where we may have lost our minds, but we haven't lost our senses of humor. I'm Jen, and my guest this week is Zarna Garg. I'm so excited to talk to you, Zarna. Hey.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so happy that I'm not the only one struggling till the last minute.
Everything.
And why don't Facebook and Instagram work together? What is the deal there?
Who knows? I don't have time to figure that out. And like 5 seconds before we're supposed to go live, my husband's upstairs working on his computer. It won't turn on. So he's like, help. And then my son is home sick from school, and he wants to log into Amazon Prime to watch a TV show, and he can't log in. And we're doing like the enter the codes and all. Finally, I was like, you know what, you guys, I got to go talk to Zarna. When I'm done, I'll deal with you. This has a time. We made a time. So this is,
you know what? And haven't we learned that if we don't say, I have to go, their needs will never end. They're like my mother-in-law.
Right.
There's something new every minute.
Totally. And that's what I've learned. So I want to introduce you and give you a proper introduction, but it's so hard because you make me feel like an underachiever with all the things. So let me give it a try, okay? So Zarna was originally a lawyer, yes?
Yes.
And she is an Indian immigrant to the United States with 3 children?
Yes, that's right.
3 children, ex-lawyer, and then you became a stand-up comedian and an award-winning screenwriter.
Yes, and yes, that's all right.
Those are all the things.
That's the face of desperation. That's not achievement. That's like when you're so desperate to get something done, that's what that looks like.
Right. You try all the things. I understand.
And I don't highlight my failures on Instagram. Maybe I should, so people know how much I failed. Right. Before they can read this little list.
Well, really, to gain any level of success, you have to have failed a bazillion times. This is what I keep telling myself.
Oh, right? And it's completely true. And I'm telling you, I failed more than a bazillion times. So many times I've lost track.
Right. So I feel like I failed enough times that
it's hard for people to see that. It's because also I don't show it. So there's that.
Also, you've learned to be all like, you have a great facade of success.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so yesterday I listened to a stand-up set that you had online. I think it was at Caroline's on Broadway. And the only time I ever get to listen to anything is when I'm driving alone.
Right.
Yeah, because if someone's in the car with me, they have to listen to their thing, obviously. Or they're talking to me. So I had my 20-minute drive to go pick up the kids from school, and I listened to you do your set. I knew nothing about you. And I should preface this by saying that my husband says I have German humor because he says that I never laugh out loud. So we'll be watching like the most hilarious thing, and I'll be like, that's funny. Yeah. And he's like falling off his chair laughing. He's like, why aren't you laughing? And I say, I get it. Like intellectually, it's really funny. I actually laughed out loud 3 times in my car at your set and had to pull over. So I told my husband that as soon as I got home. And I was like, I've discovered somebody that made me laugh out loud, and I'm going to interview her tomorrow. So I'm going to have everyone listen.
Listen, I think we should end the interview right here.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not topping this. This is amazing. I know exactly what you're saying. I laugh out loud, but Indian people in general are very reserved with their laughs. So I have to work really hard, extra hard. And, I know how to get people now. It's been a process, but I am so happy that I made you laugh.
Well, good.
It's everything right now with the kind of life we're all dealing with and all the complications. If I can make you laugh, especially a mom who's dealing with all the mom stresses, my job is done, honestly. So excited to hear that.
Good. Yeah. So tell me, like, when did you make this transition from lawyer to entertainer?
So I am a lawyer. I was a practicing lawyer before I had my first kid. Honestly, I quit law when I was about to deliver my first kid. I couldn't figure it out. I'll be honest with you. I couldn't figure out how to have a corporate job in New York and have a kid and have a husband who had a very demanding situation
Totally.
and run a household all by myself. We have no family in New York. I mean, for the first time, I was like, I should have gotten arranged in India. What's wrong with me? Why
Right.
did I make this so hard for myself?
You could have had somebody like pick you out a rich husband. I was just, we don't have that. I was just stupid enough not to pick one.
Yeah, stupid enough to fall in love. What?
I know.
You
Crazy.
know, so you know what I mean? Like motherhood hit me like an express train. It really was the first time it hit me that you're alone in this. Like honestly, I feel like every mother is alone. And I know in America they say like it takes a village. Like I don't think that person's ever been to a village.
Right. No. I don't think we have villages like that in America.
And where are the villagers? I was like, where are the villagers?
I want to like be able to hand this baby off whenever, however, trust the person and be like, I got to get the hell out of here. Or even I just have to take a shit. Like we need that.
Exactly. So if I spent many months in the beginning thinking I'm in the wrong village. I need to find me the right village.
Are you in Greenwich Village?
Yes. I said, West Village, where is it?
No, that village doesn't exist. So
exactly.
So
and that was a harsh. I quit law when I realized, like, really, I'm gonna bring this baby home, and it's me and her.
Yeah.
So, and then for 16 years, I was a stay-at-home mom. I couldn't figure it out. I'd be like, I'll tell you, I tip my hat to all the women in America who figure it out. It is hard to be a working mom and to be a mom and to be, in my case, would have been a wife. You know, I just couldn't. For 16 years, I was living under a rock and all I did was mom stuff.
Oh my God.
But I'll be honest with you, I was dying. Inside, I was just dying. I couldn't wait to do something for myself. I felt like I was doing everything for everybody, but like inside me, I was not happy. And this is nothing to not take anything away from stay-at-home moms, because I have nothing but respect for that job. But it's lonely.
It's the hardest job. I've done both, and I think staying at home is the hardest. Because there's no break. There's no like lunch hour, clock out, or just when you go to the bathroom in an office, people don't follow you and talk to you.
No.
And need you.
No.
So yeah, that part of it.
And I think as a stay-at-home mom, when you do get a few moments alone, you're so desperate for it that you're doing all, like, I mean, I remember listening to people, oh, when you have time, do yoga. I was like, yoga? I haven't watched The Bachelor. I want to watch TV too. You know what I mean? I'm done watching Teletubbies. I want to watch something. I want to take a nap. For me, not for the kid and the other kid and da. So even when you're like full on mom mode with little kids, every minute that you get for yourself, you're thinking of every bad thing. I was like, I want to drink wine and eat cake and watch TV and binge everything in 5 minutes.
All at the same time. Right.
Yeah.
And yet you're supposed to be doing things like self-care, whatever the hell that is.
Meditate.
Meditating, cleaning your house. No.
And then, you know, I'll tell you that a lot of mom blogs will be like, oh, women in India. I'm like rolling my eyes. And I know women in India meditating, girl. I don't know who you're talking to.
No, you're not all like enlightened in India with the yoga and the meditation.
No, and they're not breastfeeding till their breasts drop. Like, I don't know who they're talking. It's all imaginary stuff for the most part. Women in India are going through the same hassles and trying to just transition to formula ASAP so they can live.
Give me my life back. Yeah. I think that American women have a tendency to, like, what's the word? Romanticize other cultures, because we're like, ours isn't working, so the other ones must be idyllic.
Yeah.
And I think motherhood is just never quite idyllic.
No, I think, look, the challenges are different, but there are challenges there too, as here. Like, there you're not so starved for help. It's plenty of help. But the system itself is designed to not help women.
Mm.
Overall, a mom is never going to come out ahead. So either way, there are going to be challenges. And I found that here people tend to, I agree with you, romanticize it. And I used to just laugh when I used to see those things. But like, well, women in India, I go, no. They're sleeping, they're taking a nap, they're drinking wine. They're doing the same stuff for different reasons.
Yes. One of the things in your stand-up routine that made me laugh was when you said you were talking about yoga. You had several funny jokes about yoga, but if you are rushing to get to yoga, you're doing it wrong. Like,
right. But you know how it is. Life, listen, I get it. I'm rushing to do everything all the time. But it is by definition supposed to be like to help you dial it down, except we find a way to squeeze in 30 minutes of yoga and squeeze in 20 minutes of meditation. And I don't know. It's just, these are all funny observations. You got to do what works, right? Like,
yeah. I haven't mastered not feeling rushed. Every single thing I do is rushed, and I just got used to doing that. So even the other day, I actually shouldn't have been rushed. It was a Saturday morning. My husband said, I'm going to go play with the kids for a while. And I'm in the shower and I'm rushing. And I realized, I'm like, why am I rushing? Like, no, there's no reason. I'm like shaving my legs like that. I'm just used to rushing. I feel like there's never enough time. I can never get enough done.
Exactly. Ain't that the truth? And I think after a while, you just get used to rushing. Like you said, you don't even know why you're rushing anymore. Because you've been running on this 10 level setting for so long that you don't even know you have a lower setting.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels wrong to like sit down and do nothing because there are so many other things that you could or should be doing.
Right.
Yeah. You have some great material about your mother-in-law, and we all, I'm sure, have material about our mothers-in-law. There's like the stereotype of the Indian mother-in-law, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen, and you play into that very well. But the fact that you are able to make fun of this mother-in-law, and yet you're still here and you're still married, as far as I know. Like,
yes,
you make that work. Did you get her permission?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't go after her like that. I mean, she's totally on board. My husband's on board. It's all fun and games. It's not, they know. I mean, I've been part of the family for too long, and they know how I really feel.
Right.
And she, listen, I wouldn't shock me if she comes out with a stand-up set of her own with daughter-in-law stuff. At this point, I put nothing past her because she couldn't speak a lot of English. This is a true story until last year. I mean, on my birthday, I would get like a balloon emoji on WhatsApp, and this year she texted me. She's like, I have an agent.
What?
She's like, yeah. Because she's like, you're going to need me. You're doing so much material about me. You're going to need. So listen, It's all fun and games. She's totally on board. We have an excellent relationship. And, that's the only way I could have done it. That's the truth. Like I love her. She's somebody I deeply respect. She raised 2 boys in India in very hard conditions. So, I have a tremendous respect, but I don't believe that anything is off limits. See, our culture has not done family humor ever. Yeah. You have to understand. It exists as a genre in America. It does not exist in India. So I want to be the person that takes us into that new space and teach people and enjoy that world with my people and invite them to make their jokes and to know that we'll all still be living at the end of the joke. No one's going to die from it.
No. And I mean, everybody has things we can make fun of them about. So we all just have to loosen up. Somebody on Instagram.
I, by the way, poke a lot of fun at myself. I mean, I'm not off limits. I make some of my biggest TikToks and Instagrams are me being completely exaggerated version of me.
Yes.
So it's all good, and I'm still here. It's all good.
You're still here. You're great. I'm just going to pop over and say hello over on Instagram. Someone's saying there's no noise. I don't know if they can hear us. I'm gonna like
There is-
actually use texting and say, if you can hear us,
Yeah.
head on over to Facebook. On over. I wish that someone watching this one day would be like, oh, here's how you do all of this. I'll be your tech person. Soon, I think maybe one of my kids could.
Yeah, the kids do know. I mean, I used to have my kids help me, and then freaking school came along. That was the best part of the shutdown for me.
How old are
Was
your
having the
kids?
kids around. So I have an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
Okay.
And believe
cool.
it or not, my 9-year-old is the tech guru.
Yeah.
He knows everything. He's like, after a year and a half of remote learning, he literally figured it all out.
That is, yeah.
So I used to have it easy. I used to have 3 tech support people floating around, and now they have to be in school.
Oh, school. They have to go learn things. I don't know. Thank God for school, because if my kids weren't in, it was tough when they weren't in school.
How old are your kids, Jen?
So I have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. And the 6-year-old is very, very spirited. She's one of those little girls they write the memes about. Like she's driving me to drink, but she's gonna be fierce when she's an adult. I just wish she would stop being fierce with me. Yeah. But my 11-year-old is like your 9-year-old with the technology, and it's so funny because he hasn't had as much technology as most kids his age. My kids both go to a Waldorf school, which has a no screens policy, which sadly we're breaking a lot, but a lot less than most. And yet he still has figured out how to do the things, and like will grab a phone out of my hand and fix the thing.
It's completely intuitive to how the kids work. The thing is that these things are designed to collaborate with how their brains are originally wired, because they don't need, like, you and I may be like, I don't know, where is the button? We look for that stuff. They're not even looking for it. Their fingers fly on these things.
They know. So if they can invent technology that works like that with their brains, why can't they invent like an app to discipline them? I mean, because I can't. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think it's called the shutdown mode.
The shutdown mode.
Yeah.
They don't have a shutdown
That's
mode.
the only thing that scares them, is like, shut the thing down. That's the only thing my kids are a little fearful of, if I shut everything down. Right. And by that, I mean, literally, I have to shut the family Wi-Fi down.
Right.
Because I've lost track of all the devices, I'll be honest with you.
But
so I just have to shut Wi-Fi down and act like we're all Mormon. Sit around a candlelight.
From Hindi to Mormon.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do Mormons meditate? I don't know that much about Mormons.
They must do something. I mean, how much can you do without electricity?
No, that's not Mormons. Mormons.
That's Amish. Sorry.
We're thinking of Amish.
Yeah,
Amish don't have electricity. But hey. So back to the whole mother-in-law thing. It because I don't know. My sister actually married an Indian man, and we knew nothing about this culture. She moved to New York City, and I was helping her find an apartment. And we happened to find an apartment in guess which neighborhood? In Jackson Heights.
Oh yes, yay!
And it was a basement apartment of a house, and in the house lived a young man and his mom. And this, I mean, it could be a sitcom, I swear. It was like the biggest clash of cultures, because my sister is like this blonde, kind of ditzy, silly girl from the South who didn't even know not even close. So anyway, she falls in love with her landlord, who, as we're moving in, I'm like, your landlord's kind of cute, you know? And she falls in love, and they had the whole, like, they had to hide their dating from his mom. And to us, it was so...
Wait. For real, she fell in love? Or you're just saying, like, fall in love? Like,
no,
love,
this is true. Like, this
love.
is true. My sister married her landlord.
Wow.
This Southern girl from the South marries this man of Indian descent. He had moved from Tanzania. So Indians that lived in Tanzania moved to America. And so I know that in your culture, like, you can't show public displays of affection as easily. And you talk about that, someone with your husband, you don't tell people you love them. So there was years of my sister and this guy, like, not holding hands until they were 2 blocks away and figuring the whole thing out. So when you came into this culture of crazy people who show too much emotion, too much, what was your impression, and have you changed in the way that you interact with your husband?
No, I have not changed how I interact with my husband. That wiring goes too deep. I don't think he's also very comfortable where we are with that. When I first came here and through my years of being here, I've made a lot of observations about how people show love here. I thought the show Friends, you know, the TV show Friends,
of course,
was horrifying. That show is horrifying to me. And it is to a lot of immigrants. They may not know this. Because it was like every episode was like, no, he loves her. No, he loves her. No, they're not together. They are together. They broke up. It was a break. Oh my God. It was so
much drama.
Because we don't, like, our world is like, my mom said, I have to love you. That was the end of it.
I'm going to use that on my kids from now on. I have to love you.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly, I still, to my kids, I say, I have to love you, because, like, I think it's the law in America.
Yes.
So we, you know, a lot of my jokes come from that space, because love is such a big word in this culture, and it's practically non-existent out. And it's not just India. I'll have you know this.
Really?
The big discovery of my comedic journey has been how many cultures outside America relate to that.
Wow.
So in my shows, I'll have like South American people from all over come over and say, we don't say I love you too. This is an American thing. And you know, listen, I'll tell you this though. I have said I love you once and really meant it, and totally spontaneously. This is how I know I've become American. I said it to an Amazon customer service rep. And my daughter overheard me.
Really?
And she said, she's like, Mom, you just said I love you to Amazon. You've never said I love you to me. And I told her, I said, so you've never helped me find a missing package. We don't have that relationship.
Yeah. Like, give me all the things that I want within 2 days at a reasonable price.
Or sooner at a discount, and I'll love you even more.
Totally. Now, are any of your kids dating yet?
Yes. Both of my older, but like my daughter was dating, and now she's in college and he's at a different college. So it's complicated, let's just say.
Yeah.
And
are they on a break?
I don't know. Listen, I've stopped asking because my simple brain cannot process it. I'm like, just tell me when you want to get married. Just let me know. Because it's too much for me, you know, and then everything I do becomes meddling, which of course I want to.
Yeah.
I
brought you into this world. I'm going to meddle in how your life.
Yeah, and you don't know what you're doing. You think you do, but you don't.
No.
I mean, these kids, you'll see when they get older, you get even more fear. You know, the bigger kids, bigger problems, or whatever that saying is completely true. Like, you pine for the days when all you had to do was put them in a playpen.
Yeah. And then
he can't do it. My son now, he drives a city bike, rides a city bike all around the city.
That would scare me.
That is scary AF.
Yeah.
But he wants to be cool, and the girls like seeing cool guys, and he needs to get places, and it's a whole thing.
I love that. A cool ride is a city bike.
It is in New York. It is a cool ride. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, downtown, like, ooh, you have your bike, I have my bike. We live in a city with a big subway system. The whole reason we're here. No, now they all want to ride bikes. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
My kids are not old enough to date yet, but my son is just getting in that thing where, like, he and his friends don't know it, but we're overhearing them talk about girls. And you want to jump in. And, oh my God. They say, I heard them all saying, so-and-so is hot. She's the hottest girl in the class. I'm like, you're in 5th grade. For hotness in 5th grade. You should be like, she has the coolest Xbox, but not that she's hot.
I don't think they even fully know what hot is at that age. I don't think,
No.
you know what I mean? Like I don't even know what hot is. I think they just, it's part of the lingo. They go with the flow. I don't think, I mean, I think at that age, a date anyway is going to get a cupcake. So I think, I don't know. I hope, at least in my imagination, that's what's happening.
I just want to say, like, stop worrying about who's hot. I wasted so much time on that kind of stuff. And then I married your father, who I did not marry. If he ever watches this, I did not marry him because he was hot. I married him for other better reasons. And we're still together like 20 some years later. So forget the hot guys. The hot guys are trouble.
Yes. But they have to discover it themselves. Mom saying it is not going to happen. And,
it's so hard how it is watching them make the mistakes.
Yeah, you have to be playing the other side for a while. Like when my daughter went out with a guy who was completely wrong, I would be like, no, this is amazing. Yes, snort some cocaine. Why not?
See what
I mean? Ruin your life and see where it goes. I just scare the shit out of my daughter.
You'll end up like us.
Let's Google some images of people who've done drugs. Like, let's see what they look like. I'm sure they look amazing.
Yeah, you care so much about your skin and your teeth.
Yeah. All that yoga.
Yoga cannot compete with cocaine.
Yeah.
Totally.
But you do have to let them discover a little bit themselves. I have learned that. Like, because if you just tell them, it means nothing.
No.
I think.
In fact, they'll just do the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very concerned. My husband is very one way politically, and I'm concerned that my child is going to become an extreme in the other direction. And so every time I'm like, just don't let them know how strongly you feel about that, because they just rebel.
They know. These kids are too smart. You can't keep them, they know everything anyway. Listen, if we learned one thing in the last year and a half is that you can't control anything. Honestly. That's my big lesson of 2020 and 2021 as a mom. Like, how many years did you and me both as moms spend keeping the kids away from the screens?
Oh my God. Worked so hard.
Oh my God. And then 2020 happened. And we're like, you don't know how to log in. Where's your password? You haven't reset the password. We literally went a full 180 in a day.
Totally. Why didn't I teach? The first day that we logged in on a Zoom to have a third grade Waldorf teacher on a Zoom. And anybody who knows about Waldorf schools, they literally really do have a no screen policy. Like they expect you not to ever have your kids use screens. They learn to knit, they do woodworking, it's very holistic. And then this one day, all of a sudden they're like, log in on Zoom. And these kids had never seen, they were just looking at each other and the thing. Anyway, it was crazy. I do these MomCave Live interviews once a week with funny moms. And I always try to keep them, below like 20 minutes. But I've already gone over several minutes because I'm having fun and I just want to talk to you. But I don't know if everyone in the world wants to keep watching us talk. I definitely want to do this again. And I would love it if you could, I don't know, do some funny things for the MomCavers at some point. We can talk about that. But before we sign off, tell everybody about your next show, your next live show, how they can see it, where they can see it. Oh, I think I have a picture. Hold on. Watch, I'm going to get fancy. Is this it?
Ooh, yes, that's it. Wow, so fancy, Jen.
I know.
Yes, so this is my show. It is part of the esteemed New York Comedy Festival. It's going to be happening on November 12th at West Side Comedy Club in Manhattan. I would love to invite all your viewers, all my viewers, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere to join us. This particular show is going to be a night of female empowerment. Sorry, guys. You're welcome, but I'm just letting you know.
Guys can come, but you're going to be made fun of.
You probably. So come for that. You know what? Come for that. But it's going to be a really fun night of female empowerment. And my fellow winner of Ladies of Laughter 21 is going to be doing a set. And I'm going to be headlining. So I'll be doing my full set, 45 minutes. And I would love to see everybody there. I have had a lot more material to work with because my mother-in-law has said a lot more crazy things to me.
Oh, great. And I hear that they've opened up the airports now, so your mother-in-law could be coming at any moment.
Yes, thank you, Biden, for that. Not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only all of the airports could keep away the annoying mothers-in-law.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could selectively give them a list of no-fly people. That would help.
Yes, they should be on the no-fly list.
Yes.
Yeah, unless we have just had a baby and we need them to come and help us. And cook
Okay,
for us.
that's a different matter. Then we take them off the list. Yeah.
Totally. It's a selective village. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. You can find Zarna on all of the platforms. Pretty much, you are at Zarna Garg, right?
Yes, that's right.
TikTok is huge. I'm going to go and watch some of your TikToks tonight and go down that rabbit hole. I want to talk to you more. I'm still thinking of all of the funny things that I heard you say in your set, and I wish I could just play that right now, but that would be crazy. So go check her out, look at her videos, and let's do this again soon. I hope that you have an awesome show at the New York Comedy Festival, and thank you for being here and laughing with me.
Thank you for having me. This was such a fun chat. Thank you for inviting me to your community. Namaste, everybody. Have an amazing day.